Fueled by Dead End Barbecue. This is real sports talk for the real sports fan. Talk to him, Swain.
Give me 2.5 and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. It is Thursday. It is the best day of the week. I got my guy Ben Key, Go Vols 247, riding with me this morning. I'm live in the Low T Center studio. I like to report a crime in the key. I am snitching. I'm snitching, man. I like to report a crime. I am carrying out my duty of a law-abiding citizen in the great city and state of Knoxville, Tennessee. I will not turn a blind eye. I will not just mind my business. I think it was criminal what the Lady Vols did to Columbus State last night. Beat the Cougars 148-48 in the exhibition game. Beat them by 100 points. Good morning, Ben McKee.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm great, man. I couldn't be better, my man. Good to see you, man. Look at you, man. You doing OU radio. They're coming to you for expertise on this matchup. I want to know what you learned from your time talking to an OU legend, Teddy Lehman, who, was one of the best linebackers in college football history. Wearing that number 11, dude was a straight-up baller. What did you learn about OU, man?
Well, I didn't really learn anything because it was them peppering me with questions. That there wasn't really an opportunity for me to ask them questions. I guess the one thing I did learn is they are expecting a raucous environment on Saturday.
Yeah.
They asked me what the environment was going to be like on Saturday, and I said that it's hard to label one place the best atmosphere in college football. So I'm not going to go that far, but I will say that you will not find a better atmosphere in college football. Take the whiteout at Penn State. Everybody wants to talk about Bryant-Denny Stadium, Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. Alabama gets talked about because it's Alabama for that look that you gave me. But we know the ones that get hyped up when that conversation comes up. And Tennessee, those who have played here or visited here, they speak up for Tennessee. But those who have not, they don't really know. So I said that you're going to get the best atmosphere in college football. At least you're not going to get one. You're not going to find a better atmosphere in college football. I know that 110%. But he told me that his wife was here for the 2015 Tennessee-Oklahoma game, and she was vouching for how awesome of an environment it was. And like I told them, all you have to do is ask your own, because how many former Oklahoma players that played in that game came out and talked about how difficult of a road environment that was for them to play in.
Man, I'm nervous, man.
You should be.
Why?
Because have you watched Tennessee's secondary and have you seen Oklahoma's quarterback?
I mean, yeah.
Were you going in a different direction, or are you nervous because of the matchup on the field? Did I jump the gun on you?
A little bit. That's not what I was referring to, but yeah, that's another reason why I'm a little nervous about the game. Here's the reason why I'm nervous, because you're talking about the crowd, right? You know how you refer someone to maybe a restaurant, maybe an item, maybe you hooking up to folks, a relationship, not intimate, but like, hey man, here's my boy, he's looking for a job, and try to hook him up, and you afraid that your recommendation is not going to follow through. Like, hey man, go to this restaurant, man. They got the best steak in the state, and you go there and they give you a steak that's like trash, and like that reflects on you. Like, I mean, I did that with Ramon Foster at a place, Lexington, 2 years ago. I went there for lunch. It was really, really good. I thought it was good. It was good. And this time going up there, I told Ramon, hey man, you gotta go to this place. And he didn't go to the place, but I went to the same place for lunch after I got off the phone with you on my way up to Lexington. And it was mid this time. And I was like, whew, man, I'm so glad Ramon didn't go, because that would look bad on me. Well, I was on with Alyssa Lane and Chris Doran on XM Radio yesterday. You did an interview. Fix your face, Josh. I mean, Josh, but Ben, fix your face.
Wow.
Fix your
Can't
face.
believe you.
I talked to both of y'all on radio, so it's not a big deal.
I can't believe you would do that to me, Charlie. Can't believe you would do that to me, Brad.
Damn. But anyways,
Daniel.
you got me. So you were on with the OU guys, Benjamin, Thomas McKee, and you're talking about the atmosphere. They asked me about the atmosphere, and I was like, man, it's hard for me to believe Tennessee's going to lose in this atmosphere. It's going to be unbelievable. You're talking about the atmosphere. And I just remember early this year, Ben, Arkansas game, it wasn't loud, man. Like, it wasn't jumping like that. It wasn't. And, like, I just hope that the atmosphere follows through, and it lives up to the hype of Neyland Stadium at night. And, like, I'm not blaming the fans here, because I understand, like, and I made this point a couple of days ago when we was on Tuesday. It's hard when it's 3rd down and 15, and over the loudspeaker you hear, 3rd down, turn it up, turn down for what, turn down for what, 3rd down for what, it's 3rd down, get hype, be like, yeah. And they pick up a 3rd and 15, you're like, damn. And it happens 3 times in one drive. It's hard to continue to get up every single time. And so the defense has to do their part to make sure that Neyland Stadium is loud and stays loud, because that affects the fans. And I just hope that Neyland Stadium lives up. And everybody's going to do their part when it comes to, like, the fireworks and the light show, and everyone that's involved in doing that. They're going to follow up. They're going to do their job. But it's the coaches and the players. They got to do their job at a high level for Neyland Stadium to live up to the hype. And, man, I appreciate Rodney Garner, because Rodney Garner kept it a buck with us. He kept it a buck. He's like, hey, we got to do better. Players and coaches, we got to coach it better. We got to play better. The standard, that we're not living up to the standard. And, like, what is understood doesn't have to be said. I think we all understand that they have to play better, have to coach better. But it was refreshing to hear Rodney actually say it, Ben. So that's my point.
Especially when Josh Heupel has not. I understand he's doing it on purpose, and he truly doesn't feel this way. But you can tell he's been annoyed by the defensive questions his last couple of availabilities.
Well, he
and
should be
again,
annoyed by the defensive play instead of the defensive questions.
correct.
I mean, that's
And,
just part of the job.
and I'm sure he is. He's just not going to give anything to the media. But like how Rodney Garner earned brownie points with Tennessee fans this week. Not that it matters that you have to go earn brownie points or anything like that, but it does help. It does. Whether it's fair or unfair, you do earn some goodwill with the fans when you come out and you keep it a buck. And if Josh Heupel would come out and seem a little more genuine, might be the right word, with his answers to the defensive questions, and not seem more frustrated with the question, then I think that would resonate quite a bit with Tennessee fans. And again, I know that it is frustrating to him that the defense is performing the way that it has, and he has made comments about how they need to be better. It's not that he doesn't recognize the importance of it. It's just like with everything he does in the media, he's just not going to give you a lot. But I think if he could come across more genuine like Rodney does, I do think that would resonate with the fans more. Because what do the fans want, Swain? When they're frustrated with a product on the field, what do they want? They want to feel as if it matters as much to them as it does, or it matters to the players and coaches as it does to them. They want to know that it pisses Josh Heupel off just as much as it irritates them when they're watching on Saturday. And it does, but if he communicated that more through the media, I think that would resonate and really hit home, and folks wouldn't, some like on Saturdays, wouldn't be, not that they wouldn't criticize him, but they would, it would just resonate with them more. And I think they would, not that they would be less willing to criticize him, but that they would feel like Heupel's almost in the fight with them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, he can do what he want to do. It doesn't bother me. But we've seen how Tony Vitello, by being, a little transparent. Rick Barnes being a little transparent. There's a time and place for coach speak, and I mean that's a deal. I mean, we had Cale Gundy on our program, Mike Gundy's brother, who played and coached at OU. No one has won more games as a player coach than him. And he asked me about Colton Hood, and I was joking with him, and I was like, we can't tell you until Wednesday evening the availability report. I was joking around. I was like, we don't know, man. And I didn't want to tell him anyways, to be honest, because I don't want to give out the secret sauce. So, and that's just how I am about injuries, man, when it comes, especially talking to an opponent, media guy. But I don't know. I didn't know Hood's status. Now, last night, he was not even on the availability report, but this interview happened on Tuesday, okay? And I was joking around. I was like, well, Josh Heupel would like for us to say, refer to the availability report tomorrow night. And Cale Gundy was like, oh, that's Josh Heupel. So, like, everyone knows it. Like,
yes,
he knows it. Everyone knows it. That's how he, decides to handle those type of questions. And that's fine. But at the same time, it rubs a lot of people the wrong way. It doesn't bother me, but it does rub a lot of people the wrong way. Anyways.
Well, it's like the Steelers defense has been just as terrible as Tennessee's defense this year. The Steelers defense is soft and terrible. They drive me absolutely crazy watching them. I'd rather walk on glass than watch the Steelers play defense. And what's even more infuriating is how much money they poured into the defense this season, and they can't stop a nosebleed. But Mike Tomlin comes out and is on his Rodney Garner of, I mean, he's short and to the point, but he's like, yeah, we're terrible. It needs to be better. Like he keeps it 100, and I don't know why it is. It's not fair, but it does make me feel better as a fan knowing that the head coach is just as irritated about it as I am. I already know that he is. Like, I don't need him to tell me that to know that he is irritated. and frustrated. And again, it's not fair, and I don't know why it is as sports fans, but it does make you feel better.
Yep.
Like Aaron Boone and my Yankees, like he is the epitome of, like, we had an issue with our shortstop this year, just making error after error after error, and Aaron Boone would come out and just continue to like take up for him and saying that he's playing like he's one of the best defensive shortstops in baseball, and he's making an error every game, and that's infuriating as a fan. Now, Josh Heupel, of course, is not doing that, but I'm just pointing to like the difference of, it is weird how the approach from the coaches through the media, even though it doesn't really matter, it does make you feel better.
Yeah. John K says, being that Steeler defense is going to get that Daniel Jones experience, that Indiana Jones experience. Oh, yeah, baby.
No, we're about to, yes, we're going to get the Daniel Jones experience. Jonathan Taylor is about to set some records. I promise you he's going to run for 200 this weekend.
He's going to make his case for MVP.
Well,
That's for sure.
He already made his case. I think the Steelers might go ahead and give it to him, is what's going to happen this weekend, despite all the money for Patrick Queen, all the money for TJ Watt, all the money for Cam Hayward, Jalen Ramsey, so on and so forth.
Vol fan says there are a lot of people that trash Barnes every time he's honest about the team or player deficiencies or performance. Yeah, those are probably the same people that still criticizing Rick Barnes' recruiting too.
Yes, I think those are the people that just like to criticize Rick Barnes.
Yeah, they just don't like Rick Barnes.
But you are right, Vol fan.
But I find Rick Barnes refreshing, and that's just what I prefer, because
he lets you know what the issues are. I mean, he comes out.
Well, here's the thing.
Post game against Duke, and you know exactly what is wrong with the basketball team and what they need to get better at. So you're not sitting here mystified as to why young Boozer is having the game of his young career against Tennessee in an exhibition. You know exactly what is wrong with Tennessee basketball and what they need to work on, what they need to fix going into their season opener.
Yeah.
And I like that as a fan, and as somebody who follows the program.
I mean, if you're watching what everybody else is watching, then you kind of want some real answers. I get it. Vol in Charlotte. Tim Banks needs to answer questions, hard questions. I don't think I should read the rest of it.
It is odd. Now, of course, I have not been over on campus until the last week and a half, but I do not believe Tim Banks has spoken to the media since August.
He don't need to speak to the media.
He does need to speak to the media to take accountability.
I mean,
and
listen, I understand.
Answer questions for why is Rodney Garner speaking to the media and having to answer the questions, and the defense coordinator doesn't have to?
I get it. Listen, I understand what you're coming from. I'm saying he need to be spending all his time figuring out how to stop folks.
I agree.
That's what I'm talking about.
But he can also take 10 minutes to.
I get it.
Be held accountable, if that's the right way to put it.
It's probably best that he's not talking to the media from the Tennessee perspective. From your perspective, yes, he needs to speak to the media, but it's probably best if he does not. Japan, how can you work on tackling in practice when you can't tackle during practice? Huh. That's a good question.
Well,
you can work on how you take on blocks when you are supposed to run your feet versus when you are supposed to leave your feet. They do have a pad. They got several things they can use. So it can improve. But, and I know y'all don't want to hear this because you want to know how we're gonna improve from last game to this game to be better against OU. But to do that, it's gonna come down to tackling angles, how you take on blocks. You just need your better players playing. Do you put Boo Carter out there full time at the nickel? And sorry, man. And then and you're not for it.
I'm totally out on Boo Carter. If nobody could tell throughout, I've been out on Boo Carter for a while.
I understand.
It's unfortunate because he has all the talent in the world and should be playing on Sundays for a long time. But I just you can't continue to.
I get it.
By continuing to play him, you are communicating to him that it is okay to do what he did at Kentucky.
I understand.
And that's not the first instance of him doing that.
Well, here's the thing, man. If Colton Hood wasn't going to play, and it looks like he is because he's not on the availability report, but let's just say he doesn't finish. Jalen McMurray played corner for you last year. Do you put him at corner to prevent having to play a walk-on corner for a 60-minute football game and then have Ty Redmond on the other side? Or do you say, hey, man, I don't care. I'd rather lose with guys that are going to play hard and do what we ask them to do and keep Boo on the bench, roll with McMurray at the nickel, roll with Ty Redmond at one corner, and then roll with William Wright, or Tim Merritt at the other corner as one's a walk-on and one's a true freshman.
That has barely played this year. Has he played this year other than mop-up duty against ETSU?
So, I mean, which scenario do you want, Ben?
That one. I'd rather take my chance with Ty Redmond, William Wright, and Tim Merritt, right, and Jalen McMurray at the star position. Okay. I mean, just I think there's enough evidence to where that's the best decision for the defense because you look at all. Put the effort aside. I mean, look at all the plays he has not been able to make this year, and I think it's a direct result of his effort and the lack of work that he put in over the offseason. He's gotten worse as a football player because he was not concerned with showing up to workouts on time and doing what he needs to do as a teammate and as a football player. So all of the coverage busts, all of the missed tackles, the lack of effort, giving up on plays. Give me Tim Merritt, Jalen McMurray, William Wright. I'd rather Edris Farouk and William Wright and Tim Merritt take a horrible angle to the football and miss a tackle, and that be why Oklahoma scores, than watching Boo Carter give up on a play at the 20, 30-yard line when he has the ability to impact the play the way my man did at Texas A&M a couple of years ago during the Butch Jones era. I'm blanking number 13. I'm blanking on who forced that fumble from behind.
Malik Foreman.
Yes, Malik Ford. Was it Malik first name? I believe so.
Yeah, I think it was Malik Foreman.
It sounds right.
I'm looking at his face.
I am too.
From East Tennessee, East in the Tri-Cities area. Yeah, it's Malik Foreman. Yeah, it was Malik Foreman.
One another way you can get better at tackling is you can make sure that you are working on the proper fundamentals in practice. I mean, because dude, they have tackling drills and fundamental drills.
I know they're working on it.
I know, but I've heard from someone who has watched practice who would know a thing or two about tackling, like call into question
some of the drills
and wondering if that is the best method to teach them how to tackle.
Right. Everything is up for discussion. Everything is up for questioning for sure. But, I mean, that's something Tim Banks going to have to – no, I'll take that back. That's something that Josh Heupel and Tim Banks will need to figure out. Josh Heupel is the head coach. He's not just, the offense coordinator who has the luxury of just saying, hey, Tim Banks, it's up to you. No, he's going to have to make a decision on personnel based on what he saw in last week's game versus Kentucky. So I don't know what we're going to see. All I know is you better figure out a way to be 1 point better, because you lose this game, man, you staring 7-5 or 8-4 in the face.
That would Josh Heupel would really have to do a good job of keeping this football team together.
Yeah.
Because they are a better football team than Florida. But we know how things go in the swamp for Tennessee. That is a game that if Tennessee does not show up with the right mindset, obviously they are losing, and obviously where their mind would be after losing this game and essentially being eliminated from the playoffs, that would be called into question. Heupel would have to do one of his best coaching jobs and preparation jobs going into that game. And I don't know, the game after that, even right now with Tennessee still in the playoff hunt, I don't know that Tennessee is a better football team than Vanderbilt. Everybody's talking about Diego Pavia. Not enough people are also talking about how good that defense is and some of the weapons that they have at running back. Eli Stowers, the tight end, he's a future pro. That is already a tough game. That is not a game, if you're a Tennessee fan, that you want Tennessee going into checked out of. And to your point about this game being so important, I mean, you don't want to be playing in the swamp and playing against that Vanderbilt team checked out, because you will lose both of those games if so.
Yeah. Quick right back to Boo Carter, and then we'll keep it moving. Tennessee Rick says, I am sure Boo Carter will transfer in the offseason. And what I was about to say is, it's just, you have a conversation with Boo, and you say, hey, man, listen, I know you don't want to be here, and that's fine. And then, without saying it to him, you say, I don't want you here either. But you say, hey, man, I know you don't want to be here. But I want you to think about your next team. And think about the film that you're putting out there. And what happened last week, Kentucky, that's not helping you with your new team if you decide to continue to play football. So, I get it. Whatever happened. You can find your new team next year. But to help yourself, don't put bad film out there, man. Don't have all these busts. And you definitely don't want to have poor effort. That's the conversation I'm having with Boo Carter if I am Josh Heupel after this past week with Kentucky. All right, moving forward. Rodney Nostell, the OU podcast, pointed out our inability to tackle, matching up number 5 on Boo Carter.
That's Satanga or Burks. I don't know their jersey number.
I think that's Satanga. Burks did not play against us last year. I can already tell you what they're going to do with Burks.
What's that?
You already know what they're going to do with him.
Match him up in the slot?
Dude, he's 5'9", 180 pounds. He's getting screen passes.
Yeah, Satanga is 5, Burks is 4. 5'9", 188, plays the Z receiver position according to the depth chart in Oklahoma's game notes.
Yeah, and they don't throw a lot of deep balls. Like, they took a shot and was successful early in the game against Ole Miss. They do have offensive line protection issues, which I find to be unbelievable that an OU football team with that pass rush and that defensive front would have an offensive front continuing to struggle the way they are protecting the quarterback. But they don't protect them well, and they don't take a bunch of deep shots. Tackling in space will continue to be the thing for this defense. You're going to see more offenses throw screen passes. You better believe John Mateer is going to run. There's going to be some call runs for him. They use him as a part of the running game. I'm actually surprised they don't take deep shots because they're going to have some opportunities because they got some speed on the outside, and they may take them in this one. But Mateer has been a little reckless with the football since he's been back, and I think there's an opportunity. One thing I find very funny, Ben, when you talk to OU fans and you see them interact with Tennessee fans, is OU fans complaining about their offense, Tennessee fans complaining about their defense. OU fans are saying, oh, don't worry, Tennessee fans, your defense is going to look good against us. And then Tennessee fans are saying, oh, don't worry, OU fans, your offense is going to look good against us. Like, both sides are saying the same thing, and something's going to have to give on Saturday. And we may see a little mixture of both, but who's going to be the worst out of the two? It's going to be Tennessee's defense. It's going to be Oklahoma's offense. Garrett McElroy picked OU to win because he feels like Tennessee.
Really?
I know, man. I was shocked too. I was so shocked. Was you blown away like I was blown away? I was blown away. I think Greg will ever pick against Tennessee.
I was unaware that he picked them, but I am not at all surprised to learn that he picked against Tennessee.
I am shocked. He never does that. But yeah, he picked OU, and I get why he picked them.
I do too.
They have less holes. Tennessee's defense, it's a gaping hole, man. It's a gaping hole. And I'm surprised Tennessee is favored in this game. To be honest, it's a bad look last game against Kentucky's terrible offense. But that doesn't mean, Ben McKee, that Tennessee's defense has to play the same or will play the same. What happened last week doesn't carry over, will not carry over. It's about this game. It's about this opportunity. And there's going to be a big-time opportunity for young Tennessee linebackers, my man. Your outlook on – I don't like your facial expressions right now. Your outlook on Tennessee's young linebackers getting in there, Perlotti getting opportunity to show off and do his thing.
Well, he doesn't really have a choice because Arion Carter is banged up with double turf toe.
Throat.
What's that?
Let me clear my throat.
Let me clear my throat. I mean, maybe Carter tries to gut through it on Saturday. You don't think he's going to?
I don't think it's worth it.
But do you think that he will?
I don't think that he will.
All right. Well, whether he does or does not, I assume that he would be limited if he does give it a go. So, A, you don't really have a choice but to play Mr. Perlotti. But B, yeah, I do want to see more of him because it's fun to watch him play football. And, I have been harsh on the linebackers during our last couple of shows. I thought Edwin Spillman actually played well at Kentucky. I am a big Edwin Spillman guy. I think he has had a solid season, if not good season. I think he has all the potential in the world. It's fun to watch him fly around. And not only is it fun to watch him fly around, but he seems to make the right decisions as well, which is my big criticism of Arion Carter and Jeremiah Thielander is you appreciate their effort, but they just always seem to be out of place. And that doesn't seem, to my untrained eye, it doesn't seem to be the case with Edwin Spillman as much. But with Perlotti, you have that same kind of feel of just he's all over the place like Spillman, not afraid to stick his head in the fan and mix things up. And he's got some stuff to him, too, that I think the linebacker room needs as well. So I don't think you have a choice but to play him because of the health of Arion Carter. But then also he deserves it with how he played at Kentucky. And I think your position room needs that influx of speed and ability to run sideline to sideline.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how he's going to perform against OU offense that has, had their struggles. I'm excited to see Tennessee's offense because they understand what they need to do, and that's to have the back of the defense. And the defense is what it is. Like I'm not going to be sitting here getting all upset about how bad the defense is, because I can't do that every day for the rest of the season. I can't.
They've also run into some bad luck. I know we've been really harsh on the defense, and rightfully so. But I do think it's fair to give at least a little bit of grace when you consider they're without two All-American corners in Jamal McCoy and Ricky Gibson. McCoy has been an All-American corner. I believe Ricky had the potential to have an All-American type season, so that's why I call them two All-American corners. And, I don't think that's an excuse. I think it's a reason. It's not the only reason, not the whole reason, but it is a contributing factor to why the defense has struggled, because it does absolutely change what you're able to call. It does. It impacts everything you do defensively when you take two NFL, forget All-American corners, you take two NFL corners out of the mix that were going to be a big part of what you do this year. And there's nothing you can do about a torn ACL in Texas in January was it, when Jamal McCoy was training at home? And there's nothing you can do about Ricky Gibson suffering an upper body injury in the season opener against Syracuse. That's just really, really bad luck, and that does change everything that you can call. And then there's the Boo Carter situation on top of that. Now, I feel like that is you contributed to that, but even if you had made what I think would have been the right decision to kick him off the team, Boo Carter, it's not your fault that Boo Carter is a knucklehead. You could have made the decision to not bring him in from high school. That would be where you could criticize at that point. But how much are we faulting Josh Heupel and the coaching staff for Boo not showing up on time throughout the offseason and handling his responsibilities? Because it seems more like a Boo Carter issue than Tennessee's coaches not being able to connect to him. I think every coaching staff in America would have this issue with Boo Carter. It's not that Tennessee did anything wrong other than signing him. That would be, I think, what you would point out that Tennessee did wrong prior to allowing him to remain on the team this year. But my point is, you're essentially down 3 starters that you were going to rely on this year. That changes everything that you can call. And as
frustrating as Boo
Carter is, he has NFL talent, just like Ricky and Jermod do. That's some tough luck right there, on top of all the other fundamental issues.
I don't want to get stuck on the Boo Carter stuff. I'm going to go to the phones. Tennessee could have addressed Boo Carter situation as a freshman when he was not doing what he's supposed to be doing. It's Tennessee's fault that they're dealing with this Boo Carter mess now.
Well, yeah, because they should have kicked him off in August.
I'm going to the phones, Ben. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Turkey Man.
Hey, hope you guys are doing well. Good to see you guys out together there. And Ben, good to have you back. It means the world to us to see you when you show up. And we know that you bring a lot to the program by being there. Hey, guys,
thank you, Turkey Man.
I've got my own little 2 bits about it, and I know how I'm very competitive. I know it's hard for anybody to watch the game with me when I'm watching the game, and I'll be running stuff back and looking at. I'll be hollering at TV, why in the world are you doing this? And I get real frustrated because there's time to do certain plays or things I'm seeing from our coach sometimes in the heating moment is really upsetting me. And, it's time to take a field goal, and it's time not to take a field goal. It's time to run the ball, and it's time not to run the ball. But 2 particular plays in that game, last game we played of Alabama, that really, I just can't get over it. We don't kick a field goal, and we got 14 or 12 seconds or 11 seconds. We don't have no timeouts. You run the ball, and you get stopped, and the play's going. We tried to run the ball. We did go on 4th down when I thought we needed to, because we needed to keep the ball running, and we didn't kick a field goal at the end of the half. And we run a play that the only way we could run 2 plays was pass. I mean, that's, we all that watch the game know that. And so we pass, we get intercepted, pick 6 for 90-something yards. We watched it happen. We kicked a field goal at that moment. At that time, we got points. Another time, we're chasing points, and we're stalling, and we've got to have 2 scores, and we don't go get a field goal when we got an opportunity because we've got to score twice. So we're down, the 10 points where it was. So things like that makes I have a hard time with. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one, but I feel like our coach I feel like our coach needs to coach better in those times, those moments.
Yes, you're right.
Now, that's my 2 cents on it, guys. I'll let you go, let you talk about it, but we've got to win. We've got to win those decisions. Those decisions have to be made right.
That's right.
For us to win out.
That's right.
See, guys.
See you, Turkey Man. Ronnie Gardner was talking for everybody. Everybody needs to be better. Every coach needs to be better. I mean, maybe except Kelsey Pope. Kelsey, Ronnie ain't talking about you, brother.
Dylan Ellerby's been pretty good this year.
Ellerby, you are dismissed. Anybody talking about you? Darrell Sims.
What about Alec Ablin?
I do need the running backs catch the ball, but that ain't on you, Darrell. Dudes just can't catch, all right? I know you got catching drills. I know you're doing them, man. They just can't catch. I don't know. Ablin, hey, man. No problem with the tight ends.
So dismissing the entire offensive staff?
Well, from Kentucky's game.
Well, yeah, I think you could say for the season on the whole as well.
Nah, bro. No, sir.
Just generally speaking, without getting into the nitty gritty, the offense has been really good this year at every position.
Well, offense didn't handle business against Alabama the way it's supposed to.
You don't even want to go out and get Cam Coleman. I mean, that just speaks to how great the offense has been.
I ain't messing with you. I ain't messing with you right now. I'm not messing with you, man. I'm going to the Beatty Chevrolet text box is what I'm doing.
I have a question paired with a question on the text box that I was going to ask you, and then Mike from Conyers. Could you talk a little bit about the good-on-good matchup, Tennessee's offense against Oklahoma's defense? What I was going to ask you to pair with Mike's question is, what do you think decides the game more? That matchup between Tennessee's offense, the good-on-good matchup, Tennessee's offense versus Oklahoma's defense, or which of the struggling units can have more success than they have had of late between Oklahoma's offense and Tennessee's defense? Which, if you could only pick one that decides the game, which one do you think it is?
Can't pick one. But I do have one stat, one thing I'm looking at that encompasses both of those matchups. For me, it's about the turnover margin. So, like, it doesn't matter how good Tennessee's offense is versus how good Oklahoma's defense is. It doesn't matter how bad Tennessee's defense is versus how bad Oklahoma's offense is. It's, all right, Tennessee, can you create some turnovers? And Tennessee's offense, can you prevent from turning the ball over? Because I think if you can maintain the possessions, because you look at how bad Tennessee's defense was against Kentucky, Tennessee still won the turnover margin because we didn't throw an interception. We didn't fumble the football. And so, for me, that's more what I'm looking at. But if you,
that's a good sign because Tennessee's been good. What you can say a lot about the defense. They've turned teams over this year. Tennessee's 5th in the SEC in turnover margin.
Yeah, so like the reason why Tennessee had a multi-score lead and kind of petered away a little bit late against Arkansas is because we didn't turn the ball over. But the reason why you lost against Alabama, you almost lost against Mississippi State, and the game went to overtime, is because you had those turnovers.
Yep.
And so, like, I just feel like we have to do a good job of taking care of the football, and then we got to get some turnovers. But if you were to pin me down and say, I need an answer, straight talk, if you need an answer, the answer would be Tennessee's offense versus Oklahoma's defense, because that's the strength. So like, that's the strength of the team right now. And so you need your strength to be strong. OU lost because their strength last week wasn't strong against Ole Miss.
And I assume that makes you feel more confident going into this matchup because Tennessee's offense is very similar to Ole Miss's offense.
Well,
Just in terms of
tempo.
production.
Well, they go they go tempo. But and this is something that I learned talking from Kel Gundy too. Is Ole Miss, they present some different problems for you. Structurally, it's harder to prepare for them because of all the things that they do from, formations and alignment and motions and things like that. Whereas he said Tennessee's offense a little bit easier to prepare for. Doesn't mean
There's not as much to prepare for.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that you're going to shut Tennessee down. That doesn't mean that it's going to be easy to go up against Tennessee. He simply said it's a little bit easier to prepare for, and he felt like OU wasn't as aggressive because Ole Miss did a really good job of putting him in some bad spots. And then you also had Trinidad Shamlis, who is a real dual threat running quarterback who gets about 10 carries or so per game. And Joey can beat you with his legs, but we ain't trying to run Joey like that. Not after what happened to Alabama. We don't need to be trying to run Joey like that. Can he beat you with his legs when he needs to? Yes. But call runs 10-plus times? Nah.
Especially against this defense.
Nah, we ain't doing that. No, sir. No, sir. We don't need to be doing that. So Oklahoma's going to prepare against Tennessee's offense a little bit differently than they prepared against Southern Miss, but Ole Miss's offense. So that's going to be curious. But yeah, like the offense for Tennessee, man, they got to steal the show, man. Like they gotta put the team on their back.
Do you have enough confidence in Tennessee's offense that Tennessee can win in the month of November by way of a shootout? Because I feel like that's what we all feel like it's going to take for Tennessee to win these football games coming up. Maybe not Florida, but Vanderbilt,
who?
Oklahoma. You're going to have to put up some points.
I feel good about that. The reason why is because Tennessee's offensive line is good. Vanderbilt gets pressure on the quarterback without sending the rush, sending the blitz. That's cool. Tennessee's good at protecting the quarterback. So I feel good about the matchup.
Offensive line is probably going to dictate how much success you have next month.
Yeah. So that's why I feel good about the matchup, my man. That's why I feel good.
The offensive line can't do what it did at Alabama. That's really that's the only game that they really struggled this season. Now that they were able to get things going here and there in that football game, that they were able to piece a couple of drives. They were able to open up some holes for Deshaun Bishop. Joey Aguilar was able to throw it around here and there. But early in that football game, when that first half, when Tennessee was struggling to move the football, it was because they were not able to establish the run. And you had some guys give up some uncharacteristic pressures. I remember Wendell Moy gave up pressure.
Yeah, he tripped. He was off balance.
Yeah. I mean, still.
I know it happened. I'm just telling you what happened.
What Lance Hurd wasn't Lance Hurd the one that gave up the pressure on the safety or what got them really pinned back but before the safety? I mean, those guys have had really strong seasons, but were a bit inconsistent in that game. I think Jesse Perry gave up a pressure or two as well. So they're going to have to be more consistent than they were in that Alabama game. And that's an Alabama defensive front that has been criticized at points in time this season for being inconsistent with generating a pass rush. That was the best game Alabama had all season in terms of – it probably still is because it's not like the defense was dominating against Lenore Sellers. I guess it was on the scoreboard, but Lenore Sellers lacks – that South Carolina offense is just a whole different separate conversation. But I thought Tennessee's offensive line would perform better against that Alabama defensive front, and they didn't. And now they're going to have to deal with an Oklahoma defensive front that is better than Alabama's, going to be the best one that they faced probably all season long. And I think that Tennessee offensive line is going to dictate how much success the offense has this weekend, because if they struggle, if they're inconsistent, Oklahoma's going to make them pay.
Yeah, it's all about the offensive line, man. Protecting Joey. Joey got to do a good job getting the ball out quick. when it's time for that. And that's the thing. Joey has not faced a defensive front like he's going to face on Saturday. He's had the luxury of sitting in the pocket, delivering the deep balls. And there's going to be times when you ain't going to be able to do that, man. You're going to just take the ball and throw it out of bounds and take the incomplete pass. And so when is he going to be able to identify the times when it's just not worth holding the ball and risking a sack fumble? Because that's what happened last year at OU. That's what kept them in the game and gave them an opportunity to win is, man, those sacks fumbles against Nico. I mean, O-line has some struggles, but the running backs, no one could block in the pass protection game at running back last year. Darrell Sims was substituting everybody out of there. And so with Star Thomas and Bishop, and I wonder with Star Thomas, does he play more, or does Bishop handle that pass protection better than he did last year? By looking at the pictures of him during the summer, I think he's going to probably do a better job of handling himself in pass protection. I mean, dude's one big muscle, so
he's been good against pass pro, in pass pro.
Yeah.
It seems this year as well. I haven't gone out of my way to pay a lot of attention to it, but I mean, I don't recall a time where Bishop really got beat. So that's kind of like an offensive lineman. It's a good thing if you're not talking about them. Where are you at with which running back you want to see the most? Because I keep going back and
Bishop.
forth.
No. There's no reason to go back and forth.
Star Thomas gets in there and he breaks off some runs as well.
We talking about September? Are we talking about October?
Well, in September it was definitely Star Thomas, and then to your point, in October it's been Deshaun Bishop.
I'm going with Deshaun Bishop.
It's pretty clear where the coaching, where Darrell Sims is at, because I don't feel like Star Thomas did anything wrong, but the carries went up for Bishop and the carries went down for Star Thomas. My point is I want to see both of them. I enjoy watching both of them play football, and for me, maybe I'm just wrong, which is fine, but I kind of, Bishop is in there and it's like, all right, give Bishop the ball more, and then Star Thomas will come in and he'll make some plays, and it's like, well, I want to see more Star Thomas as well.
Well, I think the numbers in the box will dictate how many opportunities the running back gets. So, man, one thing that we got to do a really good job of is when there's 6 dudes in the box, 5.5, we got to run that football. We got to run that football, man. We cannot allow Oklahoma to stop the run not filling the box, because now you allow Oklahoma to put a safety over the top, whether it's Mike Matthews or whether it's Chris Brazzell. And I anticipate Oklahoma to do that early, because this Tennessee offense is really dangerous when Brazzell gets involved early. I mean, think about it. Think about what happened in Georgia. Think about what happened last week. Brazzell gets cooking early, it is difficult to defend those guys. Because now you're worrying about him, and then when you put a safety over the top, we hit Staley, and then when you try to play more straight up and he's trying to stop the run, okay, cool, we're going to throw it to Mike Matthews on a curl or a comeback, out, whatever. Like, we got weapons that we're using. And now Ethan Davis is healthy. Oh, woo! That adds another dimension, because he's a better pass catcher than Kitzelman. Kitzelman has had some issues with drops this year, and so you give yourself another weapon, another option with Ethan Davis. So, man, that's why that pass pro is so, and I mean so, important. Rodney and Austell has a question, but we'll answer his question when we come back from a brief timeout. Ben McKee, Go Vols 247. Jason Swain here with you inside of the Low T Central Studio. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Guys, you can feel your energy slipping away, losing what makes you, you. It could be low testosterone. Take action now. Low T Center can help reclaim your energy with a quick and simple free T-test. Visit Low T Center and receive pharmaceutical-grade testosterone never compounded like other clinics. Experienced providers increase your testosterone to the level that is just right for you. Treatment is covered by most major insurance with affordable self-pay options available. The best you is waiting. Book your free T-test at trtmvp.com. When you are craving some quality barbecue, there's only one place to go. Dead End Barbecue. Dead End Barbecue has been featured on ESPN's Taste of the Town, the first barbecue restaurant on the SEC Network, CBS Sports, Headline News Tailgate Show, Amazon Prime's The Restaurant Comeback, Food Paradise, and named one of the top 100 barbecue restaurants in America. The search is over. Dead End Barbecue is located on 3621 Sutherland Avenue right here in Knoxville. You can even have it delivered right to your door through Chow Now. Visit their website at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Just because you can't call in doesn't mean that you have to sit on the sideline. Impact the show with a text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
What's up, Swain Event crew? Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. Fall sports can be a roller coaster ride for us fans. The excitement, drama, and passion will make us crazy sometimes. I can't manage the games, but I can help you manage your real estate needs while you're cheering on the Vols. Reach out at 865-694-5904 or contact me at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. There's nothing wrong being nervous about this game. Oklahoma's a good team. Tennessee is a good team. There's a lot at stake for both teams. It is a playoff type of game for both teams. You certainly don't want to talk like that inside your locker room and put more pressure on your guys. I think they already understand that. But that is a conversation with us fans and people that talk about this matchup in the media. Like, you win, you keep your hopes and chances alive. You lose, really, really hard. Really, really hard to get to the playoffs. Really difficult. And so this game is a must-win for both sides. You have the talent. You have one side of the football that can carry the other and assisting with the other struggling side. Tennessee is the home team, though. Tennessee has the advantage when it comes to the home crowd. Man, it's time for some pre-snap disruptions. Man, we gotta have some 1st and 15s. That will help us so much. Rodney Nostell, before the break, had a question. I want to get to it, Ben. Beatty Chevrolet text box. Should David Sanders play every snap? That's what you're paying him for.
Yes. He should play every snap at right tackle, and Jesse Perry should be playing every snap at right guard, and Wendell Moy should be playing every snap at left guard, and Sam Pendleton should be playing every snap at center.
Chip Payne.
Somebody asked about Sam Pendleton and the cast on his foot. That's been there, since the Mississippi State game? Or that Mississippi State is when he twisted his ankle, turned his ankle. Him and Jesse Perry turned their ankle in that Mississippi State game. But that's when it's been been taped up. I'm trying to find the question on there. It is. This is from Chip Payne. How long has Sam Pendleton been in a cast on his left foot? I don't know how long a cast has been there, but he has been dealing with an ankle injury since that Mississippi State game.
A walking boot. I mean, walking boot you wear as precautionary, and it takes all the pressure off that foot during the week. I mean, I used to have one. I had a walking boot during the week and played on Saturday. So, I mean, that's all it is. It's like having a cast, but you can take it off. And so,
was he wearing something in the game? Is that what Chip Payne saw?
I'm not sure what Chip Payne is.
Chip can clarify on the text box. I think I've just seen it spatted up even more and just taped up real good. But Chip can clarify for us. Nelson asked if Jordan Thomas is completely done playing football. Yes, he medically retired. My good friend Ryan Shumpert wrote a great story on Jordan Thomas retiring from football and just what the last year and a half, 2 years have been for him. It's been real difficult for him, but he is a man of faith, of great faith, and had an awesome perspective on how his career has ended. So my buddy Ryan Shumpert of Rocky Top Insider wrote a story within the last month on Jordan Thomas, spoke to Jordan Thomas for a story. So I'd encourage you, Nelson, and anybody else who missed that, to go find that story on Rocky Top Insider and give it a read. It was great insight into everything Jordan Thomas has been dealing with.
That question here about this came to Tennessee Vol. Can we block their pass rush well enough to give Joey time? How many sacks does OU get? OU is second in the conference at sacks, 29 per game, or 29 for the season in 8 games. And then Tennessee is 2 behind OU at 27. So both defenses can get to the quarterback. OU's defense as a whole has been pretty dang good.
I have a confession.
All right, Usher, what you got?
I do wonder, and when I say this, I'm not questioning how good Oklahoma's defensive front is. It is very, very, very good. I think it's going to be the best one that Tennessee has played this year. I think it's better than Georgia's. I think it's better than Alabama's. Honestly, I think, sorry, Neyland Mafia, I know you're already calling me Vanderbilt on the text box, but I think Vanderbilt and Oklahoma will be the 2 best defensive fronts that Tennessee plays this season.
Yep.
Right there neck and neck with one another. But I do wonder, and again, I recognize how good Oklahoma's defensive front is. I'm not saying that, I'm not questioning how good they are. I'm questioning how much those numbers are inflated from playing Jackson Arnold and Auburn when they had 9 sacks because Jackson Arnold refused to throw the football.